That's why we hate teenagers so much. Don't we, honey?
So this was a question that's kind of intrigued me for a while, and I was just dabbling with some research to find out, and as I started to do that, pretty quickly I realized, hold on, Dipper was dealing with monsters from the very start, and I don't mean like the cute little ones that are mostly just weird. No, I mean monsters. And the crazy thing is, they're just a cute old couple. So, rewind a second. What do I mean when I say monsters? And why do I think that's an accurate description for these two? Well, in Season 2, Episode 10, the Northwest Mansion Mystery, Dipper at one point is slipping through the journal. Okay, he does that a lot. But at this point, he mentions that ghosts appear in categories ranging from 1 to 10, with 1 being weak and annoying, and 10 being absolutely terrifying, with even the author's only advice being pray for mercy. So, that episode left me wondering, well, if ghosts fit into these categories, then what were the ghosts from the start of Season 1? I just thought it was kind of interesting, but we didn't really have enough information to figure it out until in 2016, the official release of Journal 3 happened, and in that book, we can now see everything in the section on ghosts and their categories. So let's do this. First, we're gonna need a spreadsheet. Don't judge me. They're useful. Okay, let's just start by listing out everything the grandparent ghost from the convenience store actually did. So they for sure did telekinesis, moved a sign and shut some doors. They created phantom visuals in a reflection and in 3 dimensions. They possessed Mabel. They were able to control whether they were invisible or not. They also shifted the direction of gravity, manifested a physical costume in the real world with a snap of their fingers, and most importantly, they transformed people into different things? It's not super clear, but like this guy, he just straight up got turned into a hot dog. So, you know, something's going on. Okay, that's our list. Cool. Now we can use this to compare against the descriptions for each of the 10 ghost categories and see where things line up. Now, if we do that, well, we can immediately cross off 7 of them. Category 1's mostly just make things float and invite people along on G-rated adventures. Definitely not what our ghosts were doing. Category 2's, the pranksters, seem to be mostly pushovers who do things like tape sticky notes to your back that say possess me, but they don't actually possess you, so they're out. Category 3's are focused on consuming food. Definitely not them. Category 5's are these soul suckers, like basically the ticks of the ghost world. Ew. Also not our ghosts. Category 7 and 8 are unique ghosts, the key and the lock that search for each other, and they release a big monster or something if they're ever united, so it's not those 2 categories. And Category 9's haunt sleeping people exclusively, so Freddy Krueger? Yes. Our ghosts? No. And that leaves us with 3 potential categories, so let's take a closer look at each and see if we can figure anything out. Category 4, haunted paintings and image-based specters. Their whole thing is that they haunt images, paintings, reflections, that sort of thing, which we definitely saw our ghosts do, and actually a lot of their ghostly actions were transporting people into images like screens or cereal box artwork, so maybe? But on a closer inspection, the journal specifies that they move from image to image, and our ghost pretty clearly left anything approximating an image. And additionally, we saw confirmed Category 10 in Season 2 do some ghostly movement within a painting, so the ability to move around in images is not specific to Category 4's and is at the very least also shared by Category 10, so I think we can cross Category 4 off our list pretty confidently. Next potential one is our Category 6 ghosts. These are the phantoms of pain. Apparently their whole goal is to cause pain, and specifically pain to people. Now, one could certainly argue that our convenience store ghosts wanted to cause pain, specifically for teenagers. So from that perspective, they could be Category 6's. Now, I don't know, because the journal specifies these guys dress in black leather and have painful looking jewelry across their body, which is like almost the exact opposite of what our ghosts seem to want or be okay with. But even more problematically, the journal specifies they can't touch you unless you summon them. And as evidenced by the author's own experiences, conducting a seance to literally summon a ghost doesn't count as summoning them if you didn't specifically intend to summon them with the seance. So when Dipper lies down in a chalk body outline telling the squad that he's a teenager, I just think it's really unlikely that that counts as a summoning. And even if it did, the ghost definitely also touched Mabel, and Mabel had no part in that at all. So we can't say for sure that they're not Category 6's, but we have to make some really big assumptions to say that they are. I don't know, it just seems like a stretch to me. But maybe. I mean, after all, there's only one other category they could be.
It's a Category 10.
Category 10. the most dangerous and most terrifying. This is the category that the Grim Reaper belongs to, and if the journal is to be believed, some of the other Category 10s make the Grim Reaper look downright friendly by comparison. So, what do we know about them? Well, from the journal, we know that they can drop the temperature to make things really cold, make statues scream, create blood, and the figure depicted by the author appears to be breathing fire of some kind. And from the Northwest Mansion mystery, where we saw a confirmed Category 10, we know that at least one of them could do telekinesis, change images, create blood, make fire, control chanting statues, manifest physical objects like his axe, and transform people into wood. So, that's interesting, because if we compare this list to our previous one, we find there's a lot of overlap. And the few places they don't overlap, it's not that they can't do it, it's just that we didn't see them try. For example, the convenience store ghost didn't make any statues scream, but also there just weren't any statues in the store. And likewise, the lumberjack Category 10 never shifted gravity, you didn't really need to. Oh, and one more thing I should probably mention is that the ice in the freezers in the store hadn't melted in who knows how many years. I mean, the power inside was clearly off, and though we never get an exact date on when the old couple died, it was long enough ago that none of the characters here actually knew if it was true or not, and in their flashback about how they died, there was a white wooden fence out front that has been entirely replaced in the present by a chain-linked one. So I think it's safe to say it's been at least long enough for some ice to have melted. Unless, perhaps, there was a ghostly presence working to reduce temperatures and maintain what it could of the store it used to own? Well, I can't say for sure, it's just conjecture, but if we look at all of the evidence, I think it starts to paint a pretty clear picture. The ghosts that Dipper stood up to at the start of Season 1 were probably Category 10s, haunted beings which, if they'd wanted to, could have annihilated every living thing in the valley. So, yeah, that's what I mean when I say Dipper was facing monsters right from the very start. And that's just a cool little detail, I think. So I hope you've enjoyed, and of course, thank you for watching.